These people hate that you were able to get away from the drama, get away from the chaos. They're upset because they were not able to torture you the way they torture themselves. See, there are some people, they get jealous and envious of the fact that you escaped the drama, you escaped the chaos, you were able to get away from that life of toxicity and misery that they were trying to create for you. See, there are some people, because their life didn't turn out the way they wanted it to, they want yours to turn out badly as well. Oftentimes you see this with family. And I say this because normally it's the people who are closest to you who get the most jealous, envious, and are always comparing their lives to yours. When I think about this, I think about the Braxtons. I think about Tamar and Tawanda Braxton. While we are not celebrities, this scenario and their dynamic, this happens between families more than you realize. There are certain people in the family who get jealous and envious of the other simply because their lives are different, simply because their favor is different, simply because choices were made and one worked out and the other didn't. There was recently an interaction between Tawanda, Tamar, Trina, and Tony where they were sitting down eating, and the fact of, I believe they were talking about money as well as relationships. And Tawanda, for me, this is my opinion, it's obvious that she's jealous of Tamar, even though Tamar has her flaws. She's very mouthy, she's very obnoxious, but it is very obvious that Tawanda is jealous of her. Their dynamic and the way they treat one another. You see this in families that are not celebrities. You know, you could be the basic average person, but if you are happily married or happily in a relationship, if you have a good career, if you have, a nice home, if you have things, and you have a jealous, envious auntie, cousin, or whomever, they look at you as if you've done something wrong by living differently than they are. And I know some people don't like to talk about these kind of things, but on All Things Woman, we discuss those things that people like to sweep under the rug. So I'm going to go there. Tawanda's relationship from the very beginning, her and her husband, I'm using these as an example because a lot of people go through these kind of things in your average everyday life. Her first relationship with her husband, Andre, he turned out to be a bum. That was the father of her children, but he turned out to be a bum. He had her working a hard life. She was not able to rest or be there for her children the way she wanted to be. As Tamar, she was being taken care of, as well as she had her own skills, her own talents that was affording her a lifestyle that Tawanda did not have. What's my point in saying this? When you are on a level up journey, or if you are doing better in life financially, or if you have more resources, or you have more of a life of ease, you will have jealous, envious family members who hate the fact that you have a life that they don't have, especially if their life constantly involves struggles and yours don't. This is where that cutoff comes in, because a lot of family members grow distant because you're not able to happily exist around people who are always jealous and hating on you. Tamar said something that really rubbed Tawanda the wrong way, where she said, "You don't even know where I live," or something like that. And Tamar said, "I know where you live because I put the down payment on your house." That really cut Tawanda to the core. You see, when people are attacking you and you hit them with straight facts, that further highlights their jealousy and envy. I'm not saying that Tamar was right to kind of rub it in Tawanda's face, but let's be real, she had it coming. And much like these families, a lot of your own family might be doing the same thing to you. Oftentimes, people who are jealous and envious of you, especially family, they will take help from you. They will take help from you. They will take resources from you. They will drain you of everything that you work for and then try to throw you under the bus simply because they're jealous and envious. These are your people who grow in resentment the more that you help them. This leads me to my next point. When you are dealing with jealous, envious family members or jealous, envious people in general, the more you help them, the more they resent you. And that's the reason why I believe you have to be mindful of the spirit, of the energy, of the people that you're dealing with. Trying to help someone who is jealous and envious of you will always come back to bite you. It's because they will not appreciate it. If anything, they will look at it as if you're trying to be smart, you're trying to be funny. Because they already feel insecure and inferior to you, any help that you offer them will be seen as a negative. It will be seen as you acting like you're better than them. And it's weird because people who are jealous and envious, especially family members, they will ask you for help and take the help. They will, not even just family only. Sometimes when it comes to jealousy and envy amongst women, you have some women, they will reach out to you for advice on different things. It might be on looks. It might be on, how to interview. It might be on different paperwork for a business or what have you. And the moment you involve yourself because they invited you into their situation, when you start helping and they're seeing that you know what you're doing and that you're really, about your business, you're that girl, you have expertise in something, then they resent you. It's like they hate the fact that they came to you in the first place because you're showing them how they feel about themselves. You might not see them as inferior, but they see themselves as inferior. And because of it, people who are jealous and envious of you, the more you help them, the more they tend to grow in resentment. That's why I believe when I pick up on a negative spirit, somebody who's jealous, envious, or acting a little funny, when they ask me certain things, I am reluctant to offer help because I don't need someone throwing in my face later on how much I think I'm better. Oh, you think you know everything. You think you know this. For me, it's like, if you felt that way, why did you ask me? But people who are jealous and envious and still want to come to you for help, they will throw you under the bus later. So people, especially those closest to you, which often happens to be family and sometimes those we call friends, the more you help them, the more they grow in resentment toward you. So these people, they get jealous and they hate the fact that you were able to escape the drama, the chaos, that you are not allowing dysfunction to take over your life, and they grow bitter and jealous and resentful. It's almost as if they wish you would have failed in life so that you all could be on the same page. And you see this, I say this again, often with family. Some family who's jealous and envious of the others often wonder, how can you grow up in the same environment and yet my life turned out this way and yours turned out that way? People who are jealous and envious and have that unchecked jealousy and envy, they don't realize that a lot of these things come down to choice. See, they're mad because you chose to get away from the drama and the chaos and create a life of peace for yourself, while they chose to allow that drama and chaos to take over them. And people who kind of want you to feel bad about your blessings, because this is another thing that you really have to watch out for, especially with jealous, envious family members. It's almost as if they want you to feel bad for not being down bad. They want you to feel bad for being in a relationship or having children or, being mentally stable, having opportunities and resources. People who are jealous and envious, especially your family, unfortunately, not all families are like this. That should go without saying. I'm talking about toxic, jealous, miserable family members. They always want you to feel bad for doing better in life, for being a better woman, for being a better person. And this is not just about money. When you have jealous, envious family members, it's not always about the money you have or where you live and things like that. It can be about your mentality. I have had family members who have gotten upset with me simply because I am not that pull up and tear up kind of person. See, there are some people, if you are not messy enough, if you are not ghetto enough, if you don't have, as they say, low vibrational enough activity and mentality, these people will get jealous of you because you simply don't give in to all of the negative things they want you to do. I actually had a family member who got upset with me because I did not want to pull up to somebody's house to have a physical altercation over something that had nothing to do with me. See, when people are jealous and envious of how you move as a woman in general, if you have a more classy and demure way about yourself, you can expect that you're going to have issues, or you might have a little bit of a conflict or tension with jealous, envious family members or people who you think of as close to you. So they hate that you escape drama and chaos, that you're not about that life. You're not about arguing with people nonstop. You're not about involving yourself in other people's business. You're not about, getting into sticky situations that are going to come back to bite you later. You're just not into that. And they resent you for it. You might be their coffee table talk simply because you choose not to hang around these people, because you picked up on their jealousy. You picked up on their envy. You see how they resent you the more that you help. So you simply backed off, and they don't like it. Some people think they're entitled to mistreat you. And when you remove your presence, they hate that. It's like, how dare you not give me the opportunity to mistreat you? How dare you not give me the opportunity to disrupt your peace? So these people, they hate that you escape the drama, you escape the chaos, that you're not allowing them to inflict you with their misery. And then I want to backtrack a little bit on that resentment and that animosity, because that's really what you see in a lot of families. A lot of resentment, a lot of animosity. The jealousy and the envy, that kind of goes along with it. But resentment and animosity, that is a major thing you see with people who are jealous and envious of the fact that you escape the drama, that you are not a statistic or you're not a stereotypical person in your family. It's like if everybody in your family has some kind of issues with, substances or, illegal activities, and you're not that, these people will come to you and ask for help and then try to bring you down and put you down, all because you're able to do it. Yes, there are some people, especially your own family sometimes, if you have that toxic, miserable, jealous family, they don't like the fact that you have options in your life, that struggle and chaos and drama is not your only lot in life. They don't like the fact that you're able to get out of situations, that you have hope, faith, that you have people who are not them on your side. That brings me to the next point. These people hate that you have a support system outside of them. When you have jealous, envious, toxic family members, as a woman, you will find yourself looking for companionship, for support elsewhere, because you can't get it from your family because they're too bitter, they're too jealous, they're too toxic. And a lot of women who have dealt with jealous, envious family members, jealous, envious mothers, jealous, envious cousins, jealous, envious aunties, a jealous friend, when you see the signs of their jealousy, their envy, their bitterness and resentment towards you, you no longer turn to those people for support. You no longer expect those people to show up for you. So you start building relationships elsewhere. You start creating events, and not events, but you start partaking in networks and community and hobbies and things where you can meet like-minded women who are not like them. And they don't like that. When your family that's jealous and envious of you, they have animosity towards you, when they see you establishing relationships outside of them, their bitterness and resentment toward you can grow even that much more, because it's as if you're shutting them out, rightfully so. You are not obligated just because, and I have to say this, and I learned this in my own life, and best believe the enemy tried to guilt me into believing that just because this is my so-and-so, my so-and-so, my so-and-so, I have to put up with their jealousy, their toxicity, and their negativity. Not until I got a little bit older did I realize that I'm not obligated to let somebody mistreat me because they're my blood. So when I start establishing relationships outside of that, for me, I, started having hobbies where I would meet different people, meeting different people at the gym, going to church. I was meeting different people, even within my community. I, through the grace of God, was able to build a support system that was outside of my family of origin. And that helped my peace, my mental, tremendously. It showed me that everybody is not toxic, that everybody is not miserable, and everybody is not trying to keep you stuck, down, and depressed. And sometimes the people who show us that dysfunction is so-called normal when it's not, is often our own families. So these people, they will hate when you build relationships outside of them because they want to be able to inflict you with that jealousy, that envy, and that misery. It's like they have that mentality, some of them who are toxic. If I'm not happy, you shouldn't be either. We have the same mom and dad. We have the same family. Why are you trying to be something you're not? And this brings me to the next point. Your family, when they're jealous, envious, and they are coming against you, they hate that you escape the chaos, the drama, they will always try to accuse you of being something that you're not, i.e. fake. There is nothing worse than dealing with family who, because they're jealous and envious of you, they start saying that you're fake or you're acting like someone that you're not. And it's all because the version of you now is someone they do not recognize. If they're accustomed to you being that nice girl, that quiet girl, that girl that is kind of putting up with their negativity, their jealousy, their toxicity, the moment you're not that, it's like they don't recognize it and they don't like it. And they say you're putting on. That's not really you. See, when people hate the fact that you escape their drama, their jealousy, their chaos, they will try to make you feel as if you're being fake by trying to live and be a way that they do not recognize. And that just comes with the territory. When you are trying to change, when you are trying to better yourself, when you're just trying to be a better woman in general, be it with your family or anyone else who's jealous and envious, you have to get used to people saying that that's not you. You're being fake. That's not really you. That's not the her I know. Yeah, the her you knew was the one that put up with your disrespect. The her that you knew was the one who was too quiet and felt like they were obligated to put up with your mistreatment because they looked at you as, well, that's my family, so I'm going to deal with it. When you start realizing your self-worth and your value as a woman, you soon recognize that just because somebody is your family, that doesn't mean you have to deal with their negativity, their toxicity, and their mistreatment of you. So they're going to start calling you fake, saying that's not really her. Oh, she don't even do stuff like that. Haters and jealous people always assume they know you better than you. Just disregard it and go about your life. So these people hate the fact that you escape the drama and the chaos, but what they don't realize is that dealing with them all the years and the months, that did nothing but make you a stronger woman, and realize that you have to be your own validator, your own motivation, and it also opened opportunities for you to meet people who actually are on your side and not constantly bitter and hating on you. Who wants to live that way? The older you get, the more you realize you just don't have time for those kind of things. All right? Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comments section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.